Welcome to another edition of Africa Sideways, and after slagging off the 6 most annoying Kiwis in my last video, I thought I'd bring a bit of positivity, and here's my all-time All Black side from the World Cup era, basically 1987 onwards. 3-time World Cup winners in 87, 2011 and 2015. Must be mentioned that the Springboks weren't in the 1987 World Cup due to political reasons. Let's get into the team though. At loosehead prop, number 1, I always liked Craig Dowd, but Tony Woodcock for his great performance in the 2011 Rugby World Cup. Hooker, it's a bit more difficult. You got the likes of Sean Fitzpatrick, Kevin Lamu, but Dane Coles for his performance in the 2015 World Cup in particular. Real modern day hooker, fast, big, powerful, bit of chirp. I mean, they've always had a bit of chirp. Fitzpatrick was known for that, but Dane Coles done enough for the number 2 jersey. Number 3, relatively easy. Olo Brown, always had a soft spot for him, but Carl Hayman, one of the best props of all time. At tight head, it's done enough to get in at number 3. Lock's a bit more tricky. You got the likes of Brodie Retallick, who made a name for himself in later years, but with that moustache and the hard man attitude, you got to have 1 or 2 hard men in the team. I think that's the problem with the modern day New Zealand team, is there's no enforcer there. There's nobody that the opposition's really scared of. So I'm going to put Gary Whetton in. Number 5, 2 times Rugby World Cup winner, Sam Whitelock picks himself. And then the loose forwards pick themselves. They're all 2-time winners, so it's very difficult for me to keep any of these guys out of the team. We've got Richie McCaw, captain at 6, blindside Fetcher. Jerome Kaino, 2-time winner. Honourable mention for Josh Kronfeld. And at 8, there's been so many great New Zealand 8s over the years. Buck Shelford, Zinzan Brook, but with 2 World Cup medals around his neck, Kieran Read gets the nod. Now at 9 is another very, very tight one. We've got Aaron Smith, Justin Marshall, Petty Wepu. But for me, the Rolls Royce of scrum halves, David Kirk, captain from the 1987 World Cup winning team. Then we got it at 10. This is going to be quite controversial. Dan Carter's a fan favourite in New Zealand. Then you got Andrew Mertens, born in South Africa, another really cool fly-off. King Carlos, and a few others. But for me, under pressure, old school fly-off, can kick it into the boxes. Can also get this backline going, would be Grant Fox, 87. Winner. Number 11 is quite an easy one. The Lomu man has to be in there. He took the 1995 World Cup by storm, losing out narrowly in the final to South Africa, but was really the darling of the tournament, running over people. He was the first big winger over 100, and he was 120 kilo. We'd never seen anything like that before. And honourable mention, he didn't really play much World Cup rugby, but Vainga Tuigamala, he played in that early 90s era, played against Smalley in 92 at Ellis Park. Craig Green, very fast from the 87 team, and Julian Savia. But Lomu is in. 12 is quite easy. Nonu bossed that inside channel, one of the best tacklers in the game, crunch runner up the middle. 2-time winner. The longevity of his career was quite amazing. I think he's still sort of playing semi-professional rugby in America, if I'm not mistaken. 13 is his old mate, his centre pairing, 2-time winner as well, Conrad Smith. Not the fastest 13 in the world. He wouldn't be my choice. I prefer like a Jacques Fourie or Johnny Gerber with a bit more wheels, but ultra reliable, good step on him, very smart rugby player. Honourable mention for Frank Bunce. Then at 14, this is a tricky one at right wing. Got the likes of Dougie Howlett, probably one of the fastest Kiwi wingers of all time. I'd have to say probably the fastest, Dougie. Also got Jeff Wilson, who had jet shoes when he was younger. But John Kirwan, for his impact on the 87 World Cup, one of the tries of all time against Italy, it's good enough to get into the team. And fullback, the Pakanui Express, I hope I pronounced that right, Christian Cullen. That was an easy one. Honourable mentions for the likes of Glenn Osborne, Israel Dagg. So there's your team, ladies and gentlemen. We got 1 Woodcock, Coles 2, Hayman 3, Gary Whetton 4, Samuel Whitelock 5, Richie McCaw 6, Kaino 7, Kieran Read 8, Kirk 9, Grant Fox 10, Lomu 11, Nonu 12, Smith 13, Kirwan 14, and Cullen 15. I think that's a pretty handy side. We're going to need a bench for this. So the guys who are unlucky to not get in the team are definitely going to be on the bench. Got Craig Dowd, Fitzpatrick, and Oliver Brown as my replacement front row. This is going to be a 6-2 split. Brodie Retallick, Michael Jones, and Buck Shelford as the Lucy's and lock cover, with Dan Carter and Jeff Wilson on the bench. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is my all-time classic All Black side from 1987 onwards. Let me know what you think. Have I left anybody out? Or do you agree with this one? Over and out.